and think on those who might have had a difficult holiday season if they recently lost loved ones or it's the anniversary of remembering difficult times. So I'm always very conscious of the fact that we have to remind ourselves to be beacons of light in this sometimes very troubled world. So I hope that wherever you were, whatever you were doing, you didn't eat too much, but you enjoyed your time, maybe off from work, maybe traveling, or just spending time loving on your loved one. So on behalf of Mr. Brown, the entire team, we say thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. Mr. Brown is truly humbled to know that his vision from years ago is still going strong. With those of you who tune in each and every week, you share this out, you find out the information, you come on just so that you can get confirmation about what you already know. So he's inviting you to join him on Facebook, brown.les. That's brown.les on Facebook, where you'll get information and updates on some of the new and exciting things that are happening rounding out this fourth quarter, as well as visiting lesbrown.com, lesbrown.com for updates on live events and programs that will be happening. So we appreciate each and every one of you. He's been on the road. I've been on the road with him quite a bit. We'll be back on the road again next week. So in his travels, he trusts me to make sure I take care of all of you. So please tell him I'm doing my job. But tonight, I am excited because we get to hear from someone that many of you have heard before if you are a regular participant on this call. But if you're new, oh my goodness, do you get an extra bonus tonight. The individual that I'm going to introduce to you is an author of 2 best-selling books and is known for his nationally innovative business and leadership strategies. He travels all over the globe to various business audiences and helping them improve their leadership skills, individual productivity, and revenue to change somebody within their workplace. He is the CEO of Randolph Unlimited Business Training Company, and he is going to give us special out tonight. I'm probably going to jump the gun and let you know how to take access and get access to it because you want to make sure you do that. And that is texting the word MORE, M-O-R-E hyphen now, N-O-W, to 2100. And he's going to give you a free productivity planner. This man is no joke. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to give you the information that you will need to remain in a productive space of operating so that you can live up to the greatness that Mr. Brown talks about all the time. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to bring you all the way from Virginia Beach, Virginia, the one and only Wade Randolph. Are you live and on the line, my brother?
I am here this week, my sister. How are you?
I am great and grateful to hear your voice.
I know. I heard a few friends call me and said, look, Stacy's calling you on the line last week. Where are you? I'm like, man, just tell her that my bald head screwed up, but I am here this week.
Well, I am grateful to have you here, and that's what I love about our family here at the Motivational Monday Night Call. They will call you and tell you what's going on, check in, and make sure things are all right because we can't do this life alone, and that's why I appreciate the work we do with Les and an opportunity that I get to work with our Platinum family like you, Wade. So I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you have a message that's been shimmering and stewing for 2 weeks. So you're about to let it loose, ladies and gentlemen. Take out your pens and paper and get ready, and I'll turn it over to you, my friend.
Thank you, my sister. Before I begin, because I'm still in the holiday spirit, because I'm still knowing that the people on this line are the people that want to do something with their life to take it to another level, and it is our job to work with each other because iron sharpens iron. So like my sister said, regularly I wait till the end to give you my gifts, and I screw that up. So let me give you my gift up front. I want you to text MORE now, MORE, M-O-R-E dash now to the number 21000 or 21,000. MORE dash now to 21000. What you'll receive is a productivity planner that I regularly sell at my conferences for $48. You're going to get it free because here's the thing I want you to remember. Time waits for no man or woman. You've got to be willing to take action to do what you want to now, to take your life to another level. So I'll announce that again at the end of the call. I want to just send a shout out to Sheila and Mr. Thomas. I met them in Virginia Beach, where I had the pleasure to do the Minority Business Council as we talked about a new era. But what was interesting is when I came back home, I have an office that I run for Randolph Unlimited. And when I walked in, like any man, I took my briefcase, I threw it on the desk, and I had papers, so I took my hand and I shoved the papers back. My wife said, "Wait a minute, what are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean? This is just the way I keep my office." And I'm going to be honest, I'm a typical male. I'm not the most subtle guy. I have papers and everything over my office. And she said, "This office seems too small, and have you really taken a look at the overall facility we got? We're busting out of the seams." And I said, "Baby, we'll be fine. Just give me a little bit of time. Let's get through the holidays." She says, "You've been saying that for the last year." And I said, "Well, why don't we just back up and take a moment and let's just see what we can do to clean this out?" And she says, "You've been saying that for the last year." And she walked to me like any wife and looked me straight in my eyes, and she said, "Are we still looking to grow? Are we still looking to grow?" And her words stopped me in my tracks like a deer in the headlights, because I want to ask you that same question. Are you still growing? Because some of us that are on this phone right now, being Monday, we went to a job today and we've been doing the same job over and over again, and it's tugging at our soul that we're no longer satisfied. But we just stay there because we become comfortable. Or you might be in a relationship that when you started that relationship, you and your significant other, you used to smile, you used to laugh all the time, but now because of the changes, the economy, or maybe the kids are gone, you're not even smiling. You're not even laughing anymore. You even hate to go home because something has changed. Or now because we have had such a great holiday, you've come back home and you got on that scale and it wasn't what you thought it would say, and you maybe have gone to the gym, but you've gotten a little bit tired and said, "Well, maybe I just won't go." And you've got to ask yourself, are you still pushing past your limits? Are you still growing? What does it take to move past being stagnant? What does it take to no longer be uncomfortable? What does it take for you to live the life that you've dreamed of? And here's what I want you to write down. Tonight we're going to talk about demand more from yourself. Demand more from yourself. You see, the people that demand more don't settle for life just to give them what they want. They demand that life give them the essence that they want to live better. The people that demand more, they walk into the room and you can recognize them because you can see that they exude energy, they exude life because they are enjoying it. The people that are demanding more of themselves, you hear a certain energy in their voice, a certain excitement, because that little kid that's inside of all of us is still alive. I want to talk to you about, are you demanding more of yourself? Are you demanding more? And when I stopped and looked at my wife and she was serious, I sat down for a minute. She said, "Look, there is another office building downstairs. We should go take a look at it so that we can grow, that we can expand our business, but also expand ourselves to move to another level." And when she said that, it struck me because 3 years ago, I remember I had a conversation with the property manager, and let me tell you, that conversation didn't go well. That conversation, we were negotiating for that property, and he just wanted too much money. He was saying that he wasn't going to give it away, and I was saying, it's not worth that, and it's okay to be at odds and at difference, but the conversation became so heated that he hung up the phone, and I hadn't talked with him for a while. But in order to demand more, I decided, let me go down and take a look at this office building again. And when I walked in, I just saw a larger space. And I started to thinking about what are the possibilities that I could do with this space. What are the possibilities I could grow my business? What are the possibilities that I could grow beyond what my present level is? I want you to ask yourself, what are the possibilities for you? If you're going to demand more, then you've got to ask yourself, what's possible for me instead of just staying still? I want you to write this down. Decide that you're going to start looking at the possibilities in your life. And when I came out of that office building and I started looking at it, I saw the positive possibilities, and what you want to look at is not the negative. What you want to look at is what's positive for you. What's the positive things for you? How can you grow? And I decided that I was going to make a decision. See, the first part of demanding more is you've got to make a decision that you're going to move forward. You've got to make a decision that this is right for me. You've got to make a decision that you're going to draw a line in the sand, that this is what I'm going to do. The greatest ability we have is ability to decide. And you've got to make a decision that you're going to demand more of yourself is the first step that you've got to take. Because when I was in that office, I had made a decision that I was going to go after this, even though the property manager and I disagreed, even though the property manager and I couldn't become upon the numbers. You see, what I realized is when I made that decision, what happened yesterday, I wasn't going to allow it to determine my future. See, yesterday is the past, but you can make a decision right now of what your future will be. So I went back to my office, and I picked up the phone. And I got a busy signal, and I tried for a couple of hours running in and out during the day with other appointments, and I couldn't reach him. And then 2 or 3 days passed, and I got no return call, and I got busy like we all do. But you know something, what's interesting, in life, you also get busy. You put things off. And I realized that I was putting things off. I was not demanding of myself to move forth. And then I just stopped. I just sat down for a moment. And when I started to sit down, I saw the property manager of the corner of my eye just bringing someone in to see the office space. And let me tell you, when you start to see your dreams slip away, you start to say, I'm not going to let this happen. When you start to see your dreams slip away, you start to say, no, I'm going to be willing to stand up and capture it. When you start to see your dreams slip away, the people that are successful say, I've got to do something about it. See, here's the second thing. You've got to be willing and open to take action. So I got my country self up out of my office, and I went downstairs and said, Warren, I want to see that office space. I want to talk to you about negotiating on it again. I want to see what we can come to agreement on. And he said, I'm not sure we want to do that this time. You remember that conversation that we had 3 years ago? And I said, sure, I do remember that. And he said, didn't end well. And I said, this is a different time. See, here's what you have to remember, is that you've got to be willing to stay focused on what you want. When you demand more of yourself, you got to stay focused. You can't allow what happened before to stop you. You can't let negative words or people's blindness stop you from moving forward. And I said, sure, but if you give me another opportunity, if you would just send me the lease, let me take a look at it, and let's see what we can do. And he said, sure, I'll do that. And my wife said, I'm not sure we should do this. And I said, what do you mean? She said, look at the money that it will cost us to lease this. This is double what we used to afford. Look at the space we'd have to decorate it in. I hadn't put that in the budget. And look at what we would have to do just to transfer the utilities and different items. And I started thinking, isn't that interesting that sometimes fear stops us from demanding more of ourselves? Let me ask you, what fears are holding you back? What negative possibilities are you scared of? I was reading a charge by Brandon Bouchard. If you haven't read this book, you want to get it because this book was eye-opening. It said that there are three types of people. The first type of people are people that live a comfortable life. Those people are people that's not growing. Those people are people that say, well, maybe one day I'll get to it. Those are the people that say, things not right, so I'll wait. And then there's people that live a caged life. Those people that are caged life are like an animal. They're always saying, things will get better. I hope that this will work out. And they are like a caged animal because they're waiting on the possibilities, always looking, always searching, but not getting anything done. And then there's the people that live a charged life. Those people are the people that really have the freedom, and they say, whatever the circumstance is, whatever it takes, whatever is in my way, I'm going to move past because I want to make it happen. What type of life are you living? Are you living a comfortable life? Are you living a caged life? Or are you at the ultimate of living a charged life? And for a few minutes there, when I was talking to my wife, and the fear had came over me. And if you ever seen a bald-headed man sweat, it is not a pretty sight. But I thought to myself, if I don't take action now, if I let fear hold me back, then I would never have this opportunity. See, write this down. Opportunity stands by silently, waiting for you, a successful person, to recognize it. And that was my opportunity. And you probably have opportunity right now, standing beside you, looking at, will you recognize it? Because you have ideas that you haven't used that you need to bring out into the market. If you're looking to speak, you have groups that are waiting on you. If you're a writer, you have people that are waiting for you to write that book. That's your opportunity, but you're letting fear hold you back. And I say, you've got to make things happen. You can't let fear hold you back. And I came back and I said, look, send me that lease. And when I got the lease, I filled it out and I sent it back to Warren. And his partner called me and said, Wade, I don't know if we can make this work. And I said, what do you mean? I just made a few changes on it. And he said, well, look, the changes you're talking about are not acceptable to me. You made a change regarding what the payment would be. You made a change regarding how long this lease would be. You made a change regarding what you would pay us on a regular basis. I'm not sure this is acceptable. But here's, when you demand more of yourself, you got to resolve to let no one stop you. And I said, it's not about what changes are made. It's about what agreement we become. What can we agree upon? What is it that we can come to terms on? He said, I'm not sure this is going to work. Isn't it interesting that we have people around us that will always tell us what can't happen? But here's the people that demand more of themselves, keep pushing regardless what. And I said, why don't you take it to your associate? Why don't you gentlemen talk? I will wait to hear from you within the next few days. You see, the third part of demanding more from yourself is you've got to resolve not to let people or anything turn you around. And I waited. I waited past the weekend. I waited past the holidays. And the phone never rung. See, isn't it funny about life? They said life's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, and sometimes you're down. And even though you put your best foot forward, even though you make a decision to move forward, even though you take action, some things aren't going to work out in the time frame that you want. So I picked up the phone and I said, gentlemen, I haven't heard from you. And they said, I know you haven't because we can't agree to your terms. And I said, gentlemen, I'm looking for what is possible and what is practical for all of us. They said, we can't agree to your terms. And I said, gentlemen, I appreciate where you're coming from, but let me just tell you, over the holidays, I have faxed you a new lease regarding the terms that you initially sent me. I'm going to get the unit. And when I said that, my wife walked in and said, why do you do that? You know that it's more expensive. Did I tell you that it's going to cost more money? We don't have in our budget to decorate it. We don't have in our budget to make things happen. And I said, baby, it's not about what we have. It's about what we expect of ourselves. You've got to expect that you can make this happen. You've got to expect that you can start doing more. You've got to expect that you have the ability to move past those limitations and make what you want to happen. What are you expecting of yourself? You see, we all had Thanksgiving this past week, and I don't want to talk about 27th Thanksgiving living in a 2016 mindset. I want to talk about how I've grown. I want to talk about how I've become more prosperous. I want to talk about how I use the gifts that the Creator has given me to keep moving forth. What are you going to talk about in 2017? Are you going to talk about what you did 2016, or are you going to talk about your growth in 2017? Are you going to demand more from yourself? I remember looking at National Geographic, and there was a seal that was trapped in this small lake. And they said, well, why is he trapped and he's not swimming? He's one of the most agile animals in the ocean. Did someone poison him? They said, no, we can't find any toxins in his system. Was he baited in? Said, no. Well, why can't he swim out to the ocean? And the oceanographer said, I understand why. I understand why, because he's become so comfortable in this small lake that he's not using his energy to swim out to bigger ocean and to catch bigger fish. And you have to ask yourself, are you using your talent, your gifts, to swim out to a bigger ocean in life so you can capture bigger opportunities? Or are you demanding more of yourself? So you're probably saying, well, Wade, what's the first thing that we can do to demand more of yourself? What's the first thing we can do to move us forth? And see, here's what I learned. Sometimes you've got to stop doing certain things. See, sometimes you've got to stop being around people that say what you can't do. Sometimes you got to stop doing the same old activities and say, what are the skills, what are the talents, what are the abilities do I need to learn? Sometimes you've got to say, let me just try a little bit more. And then sometimes you've got to be willing to say, I've got to stop this. Sometimes you've got to be willing to say, no, I'm going to spend time right here working on my gifts and talents. You've got to be willing to say, I don't have what it takes right now, but I can call someone and learn what it takes. If there's no enemy within, they say the enemy outside can do you. no harm. So when I came back to town this week after the holidays, I was excited. I was ready to go to work. And now, even today, I got a call and said, Mr. Randolph, will you be able to come in and speak in February to my group? Here's what my point to you is that when you take one step, the universe will help you take the other steps. But you've got to be willing to demand more of yourself. Let me leave you with a thought as I leave with my other groups. There are three types of people in this world. People that watch things happen, people that make things happen, and there will be people that will wonder what happened. What type of person will you be? From 2016 to 2017, demand more of yourself. Stacy, it's all yours.
Demand more of your step. When you take one step, the universe rewards you. Ooh, man, oh man. Wade Randolph, you were on fire tonight and definitely have imparted some knowledge to our listening audience that we really need to live a charged life. And you know I love when you said take action now. You know that's my word.
Yes, it is.
Action, despite the distraction. I love what you shared tonight, Wade. And at this point in the year, I've been saying this since the fourth quarter started. Some people are being deliberate like you are. They are helping to move forward with taking that next step, calling those things that are not as if they are, not looking at what the situation looks like, but moving with the conviction of knowing that that action will be rewarded. And then other people have too much turkey in their belly and already hanging the mistletoe and calling it quits for the year and not staying focused on what they can still complete in these last 36 days of 2016. So I applaud you for the work that you do, that you live, the message that you bring. And this is about changing and saving lives. And if people want to stay connected and they want to get that productivity planner, just repeat one more time how they can get that productivity planner so they can be on target, that they can expect best and the more than just the best of themselves. Expect what they should want, what they deserve. Like you get to live life, we need to live it more abundantly. We need to live it like we appreciate every breath. And your productivity planner will help them to do that. So how can they get that?
So let me make it simple. To get the productivity planner, I want you to text more-now to the number 21000, 21,000. More-now to 21000, and the productivity planner is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Wade. There was so much in what you shared, and I want to just go back to one of the very first things that you talked about, and that was fear. And we know there are a lot of little things and trite little words that we use. Fear is as evidence of things not seen, or fear is false evidence appearing real. I mean, there's so many of them. But the reality is that there's a part of that that shows up in all of our lives that tries to stop us from asking more of ourselves. And if you were to say there was one thing that helped you get over the fear, to feel the fear and do it anyway, to take that next action, just leave our audience with one of the ways, in addition to the story that you shared and the information that you gave us to take the next step, what personally for you was what you would say helped you conquer the fear of getting it done?
Well, let me give you two. I'm feeling still in the holiday spirit. So let me give you 2 points that's done. Daniel Amen, the gentleman who wrote Use Your Brain for a Change, he says that we have ants in our brain, automatic negative thoughts. And the way to get past that is when you have a negative thought, write it down and argue with it and then tear it up. Write it down, argue with it about why it's not real, and then tear it up. The second thing, which I love, when a negative thought comes in your mind or the fear comes to you, just argue with it and say, that's not for me. That's for someone else, but I'm not accepting it. You have to be willing to take control of your mind, which allows you to take control of your life. That's not for you because you were created in the image of the Creator that gives you unlimited ability to achieve your dreams.
Oh, I love that. That's, as my girl Oprah would say, a tweet, tweet. They control of your mind. I love it. I hope y'all are writing down notes. I'll give you credit the first 2 times, my brother, but then it's mine. But I appreciate you for sharing that. I really like that piece about write it down, argue with it, and then tear it up. Just get it out of your whole existence. And the second part that you shared about, that's not for you. That's somebody else's limitations, not yours. And when we change our mind, we really can change the world, one person at a time. So I don't know if you have time. We are at the close of our call, but if you have a few moments, we can open it up to see if any of the listeners have a question and or comment that they might want to share with you tonight.
Let's do that. Let's see if we've given any information that people grab fruit from.
Absolutely. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to stand by as I open up the lines. When I do, you can press *6 to unmute yourself so that you can leave a comment or ask a question of Mr. Wade Randolph.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Hey, Stacy.
Oh, Kimberly, I hear you. I hear 2 voices. I heard 3 voices, but you got to do it one at a time because my brain's getting a little old. I can't take too much calories. So one at a time.
Dr. Grant, I will go first.
Okay, go right ahead.
Dr. Grant, this is Andre. How are you?
Andre, hey, my buddy, how are you doing?
I am good, and I really liked I snuck in the last little bit of the call because I was at work and I had to sneak away, but I wanted to say that I got a lot out of that, expect more from yourself, and I thought of that in terms of building up my new front row because I didn't have anybody there for a minute, and I think that expecting more of yourself has a lot to do with expecting better people to be around you, and hopefully one of these calls in the near future we can just do something that focuses on that front row and how to bring those people into your life that are a lot better for you, because one of those people I just had to get rid of was somebody who was a friend of mine for over 20 years, and they weren't in line with what I wanted to do, and it almost felt like I had lost a parent or something like that. It just really killed me. But now I just expect more of myself, and I knew that person wasn't, somebody that I'd want to be around anymore. So how is a good way to go and find that new front row and make sure that these people are just good people and you're not just letting anybody in that might do some damage?
Absolutely. Well, before I let Mr. Wade Randolph answer that, Andre, I thank you for being here always and supporting. And, I talk about the front row in my book. It's actually Life Lesson 4, never substitute quantity for quality in your front row. So what I would invite you to do, I will accept that challenge. I'll talk a little bit more about it on another call, maybe even do a round table, because you can rebuild just like you tune into this call. Mr. Wade Randolph, myself, Mr. Les Brown, we're ex officio on your front row because these are the voices that you've chosen to listen to change your perspective. So you already started it. And the way to make sure that you don't put the wrong people back in the front row, how do they make you feel? Do they make you grow? Do they invite you to stretch? Do they open up new doors and opportunities? Or are they negative, draining, and toxic? That's the freebie for everybody. That's how you can judge. And sometimes the front row can be real close, like relatives. You can't choose your family, but you can love them from a distance. You ain't hear that from me. All right, now, over to you, ladies.
Thank you, Dr. Grant.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to learn that there are certain people that aren't trying to hurt you, but you've got to learn to love them from long distance. And loving them from long distance means that you will make casual acquaintance to them, but they don't deserve to be right there with you walking hand in hand. You've got to find someone else's hand that will lead you to a new door and a new life.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Andre. You just keep on onward and upward. The best is yet to come. The past is the past. You focus on the future and you make it awesome because you are awesome. I can't wait till we see you when Wade and I and Les were all together alive, and then we bring you up on stage and you can give your story and your testimony because you've been a faithful listener on this call. And my prayer for you is that you see more abundance than you even can imagine.
Thank you, Dr. Grant.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And we have two other people patiently waiting.
How you doing, Stacy? This is Serge.
Hey, Serge. Hey, Serge. How you doing? We have some new folks on the line, but you go ahead if you have a quick question or comment, Serge.
Yes, I want to find out what is their websites and to find out about them. If they do group coaching, what is their areas of expertise?
Serge,
Mr. Randolph?
if you would, my area of expertise is leadership, teamwork, and communication skills. But in the sake of time, if you will text the number 21000 and text the word more-noun, then you'll get the information that you need. Fair enough?
210 and text what, sir?
21,000 and
Yeah.
text the word more-noun.
More-now?
More-noun. MORE-NOW. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, my friend. All right, sir. All right, Stacy. Thank you. It's always good, you know. Is Les Brown have any live streaming events that he's going to be doing on the live, like he did before? You know, with all these people coming on. You remember?
Yes, we are working on something, but just stay tuned at lesbrown.com for more information. Okay, sir?
Okay. Okay, Stacy. All right.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and there was somebody else patiently waiting.
Hey,
Go right ahead.
this is Myron. How you doing, Stacy?
Hey, Myron Pemberton. Go right ahead, my friend.
The more guy. Appreciate. It's not about what you have. It's about what we expect from ourselves. That knocked it out the park for me, and I appreciate that. And the fact that no one would stop me, demanding more of myself. So that I appreciate you and thank you for those words. Those were actually diamonds, not just pearls. So I really appreciate that. And I'll apply that as I move forward.
Well, I'm glad I could give you value, Myron. Let's both of us run to the 2017 and make it what we want, my friend.
Okay, and also I'm going to get your website, and I'm going to come down to Virginia Beach probably in the spring, so we will hook up to actually sit down.
You're on. Just send me an email to wade@themoreguy.com, WADE@THEMOREGUY.com, and we'll make sure it happens.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Myron. And we'll take one more comment before we close out tonight.
Hello?
Hi,
Hello.
it's Karen.
Okay, well, we'll take two more. So Karen, and I heard another voice. So don't worry, we won't hang up on you. So go ahead, Karen.
Oh, thank you again, Mr. Wade. Oh my goodness. This is what I was going through this morning. So I want to thank you so much. Fear. And I took action. Always think about that battle cry, like Dr. Stacy always say, action despite the distraction. And I went over my fear, and I did it. I did something I never have done in my life, thanks to Dr. Stacy. She knows what it is. And I'm just so happy that I took action. And I just want to thank you so much. Yes, I demand more of myself. I know I can do it. And I'm going to soar because I have the right people in my front row, and that's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much, Mr. Wade, for your gems, bringing it to the table, and it's definitely needed.
Well, thank you for being here. Spread your wings and soar. We all will.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of you, Karen. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Dr. Stacy, I have to say hello.
Is that my Ray Broussard? Hey, Ray, there's another I hear woman waiting. But Ray wanted to say hello. Ray, my darling, I pray that you are well. It's great to hear your voice. Thank you for always being here. I owe you a call, so just bear with me because I've been ripping and running. But I'm going to check on you by the grace of God this week. Okay, Ray?
Thank you, Dr. Stacy.
You're welcome, my
I need to
sweetheart.
hear those words. Both of y'all, Dr. Randolph, Wade Randolph, thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us.
We appreciate you. And thank you, Ray. And I heard a gentleman standing by as well. You can go right ahead.
Stacy, real quick, what was the name of that book? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
okay. I'll
wait.
answer your question. I'll answer your question right after this gentleman gives his comment or question, and we'll come back to you, Myron.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to take long. I promise I'll try and end as quickly as possible. I just want to thank you guys for being here and for speaking the way you spoke today. Thank you so much. I just wanted to speak on two things that I heard today. One of the things you said was opportunity stands by silently waiting for you, a successful person, to recognize it. And another one is if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside could do us no harm. And I can see, like, in the world today how everybody has a different mindset, even if it's just slightly different. Everybody has a different perspective of how their lives are. And if we could all just tweak our perspective to see that we can be like that fish, and we can move to a bigger ocean, then I believe that anybody can do anything that they set their mind to. And I just believe that's a beautiful, truthful message that a lot of people don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, can you say that again?
Your name?
Oh, my name is Raymond Swinton.
Okay. Well, great to have you on the call. I'm glad that we were able to give some value and breathe a new energy into you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir. And one day I hope to see you.
Same here. Same here. We'll make it happen.
Now, Wade, I need to insert comment that my Raymond, I've adopted him. He's 16 years old, and he's on this call. And some grown folks don't make time to get on the call to learn and grow. So can you imagine where Raymond is going to be a few years from now if he's starting this early with being focused? And you see the notes he took, very clear, concise, and thorough, which means that he is a student ready to receive, learn, and grow. So you, man, Raymond,
yes,
we are so excited for you and what you are going to do. So thank you so much for being here. And I think Myron had a question about a book.
Yeah, you mentioned there was I don't remember the author. Was it a lady author? She mentioned 3 types of people. The ones who live in a charged life. The other 2, I knew it backwards. But what's the name of it?
The book is by Brendan Burchard. It's called The Charge. Brendan Burchard, The Charge.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say this real quick. Dr. Stacey, is it okay if I give a testimony real quick?
Yes, you can. Go right on. You got it. Go ahead, honey. Tell us who you are, where you're calling from first, even though
Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. My name is Lovey, and I'm calling from Washington, D.C. And I want to...
right up the road from me.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. I can't wait. So first and foremost, Dr. Stacey, I want to tell you, remember when you told start doing the 3 things each day?
The daily, the daily focus of 3.
Let me tell you, I was so productive. Who is my CEO flying down on Friday because of my productivity from starting that? Second, Mr. Wade, your demand, the word demand tonight has made me get something done that I wouldn't have gotten done if you had not said the word demand. And so it is immediately effective. And so what I am learning to do as I listen to you all is to not just take this amazing knowledge and it sounds so good and it makes so much sense, but to immediately put it into action. And then I immediately get the results and the change. And I don't know how you do it, but you do it so effectively to take this knowledge and then motivate me to just immediately put it into action. And what you have said is just amazing. And so I just thank you all. I thank you so much. And I'm so grateful I'm down the road because I really do hope you can help me continue to grow further in the leadership and learning to communicate and developing my story and my life. So y'all are on my front row.
Well, let me just say, seeing that you're a homegirl, send me an email to Wade, W-A-D-E, at themoreguy.com.
Hello?
Wade at themoreguy.com.
Okay.
Hello?
Awesome. One
Hello?
second, sir. We
Put
hear your
homegirl
voice.
on it.
Yes, so Lovey, I'm so excited for you, what you're doing, how you're growing. There's some more surprises coming your way, so you just stand by, my dear. but this is your time. Just know it and walk in it. That's why we do this work. We're just standing here holding the space, and we're just examples of what's possible for you. So thank you for that. Love you. I'm about to take you on the road with me, honey. You're going to be my warm-up. You're going to be my warm-up. You're going to be ready, honey.
Just don't ask me to sing, and I promise you I got you covered.
I love it. I love it. So that we have one more caller who's patiently waiting because clearly we've gone into overtime, y'all. The warning signs out. We're in overtime. But, sir, you had a comment or a question? Go right ahead. Yes, sir, you can go. We're waiting for you before we close out.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hello, I'm grateful that I'm still alive today. Being alive is being as a gift. The devil been fighting me all day, and I just praise God that I'm still alive and I can just listen and just, just take care of myself.
Awesome. Well, we're grateful for you, and thank you for pushing through to be a part of this call. We don't take that for granted. You didn't have to tune in, but you did so that we can remind you about the greatness in you and don't let anything steal your joy. So stay focused, as Mr. Randolph told us tonight, on demanding the best from ourselves, taking that action, and just really moving in the way that you no longer let other people's limitations or the ones that might creep up into your mind stop you from living your best life. So thank you so much for being here, Mr. Wade Randolph. Thank you for your message tonight, for being the more guy, for being my friend, my brother. I appreciate working with you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We look forward to hearing your voices again. Same time, same place next week. Make it an awesome day, week, but a more incredible life. If you apply what we say, we do it all together. We're works in progress, moving on to make this world better than how we found it. So good night, everyone. Dr. Stacy signing off. And those of you that want to find out about the upcoming programs, visit lesbrown.com. Visit him on brown.les. And those of you who want to know about this book that Lovey referred to and Karen referred to, go to actionbook.com. Pick up your copy there, download it on Kindle, and let it be a blessing in your life. Mr. Wade Randolph, thank you once again. And if you want to get his productivity planner, make sure you text once again the words MORE-NOW to 21000. That's 2100, 21000. Bye-bye, everyone.
21,000.
Yeah, I want to cut you 1 0 short.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. Bye-bye, everyone.